good to get back out on the field. It's always a fun time of year for us to be out there in the spring and see some young players get out and compete. Obviously not as stressful as it is during the season. So we've got about 95 guys out there, which is a big number for us for spring football. And there's a lot of enthusiasm just in helmets, so limits some of the things that we can do in practice. But overall, being out there for 2 hours and 15 minutes, we had a good day. It's good to see the new coaches out there, and things seem to be going very smooth. So I look forward to the day off tomorrow and back out at Wednesday.
Mike, when you looked at the team, obviously you had a few key seniors, but for the most part, you're seeing a lot of the same faces from a year ago. Has this maybe been the best carryover from one season to the next spring that you've seen in your head coaching career here?
Well, certainly much different this year than last year, with so many new guys out there, and a number of guys, even on defense, that saw just a limited role, but were able to play in the games and bring back some experience. So this is as big a group as we've had from returning starters, numbers-wise, since I've been here going into spring ball.
You guys won 11 games, but didn't hit the goal that you wanted at the end of the season. Do you see the guys coming back with that determined attitude?
No question. I think they understand that they accomplished a lot last season, and they understand that the teams that we're going to compete against next fall really don't care what we did last year. And I think their work ethic is good. They can understand that, and it's very important.
Can you talk about how much there's been a lot made about Coach Monken learning the offense from Brandon and conversing and using spring ball in that way? We could see what we saw at practice of Brandon talking with him and doing different things. Can you talk about how much of that is really going on, how important it is these next couple of weeks?
Well, I'm very comfortable with where we're at on offense and where Coach Monken's at. He's had an opportunity to be up here in the evenings and spend quality time with Brandon and the other quarterbacks. And I didn't see anything different in practice today than there were last year in spring ball. Thought it went very smooth. And as we said a month ago, I expect for us to do very well on offense, and I think it'll run very smooth. Ultimately, it comes down to the players, and we're fortunate that we got some returning guys that know what's going on, so coaches just need to get them in the right spot, and I think they'll do that.
What are the areas you're most excited watching this spring?
The young defensive players who had an opportunity to play some last year. I really like to see the improvement over a 6-month period. Joseph Randall, Jeremy Smith. I'm excited about Huber, seeing him back out there. He looked good today running around. The development of the young quarterbacks, the young defensive linemen. For the most part, all of them really. The young players. We have a good idea of what the veteran guys can do. But spring's always fun because a guy like Justin Blackman developed at this time last year. And so gives you a chance to see some of those young guys and see what they can do.
A guy you know is Daquan Lowe. How exciting is it for you to see him back in the mix?
Well, Daquan had a tough year, and he fought back, and they did a good job with him in the training room. Our medical staff has got him back full speed, and I know he's excited to be back, and I enjoyed watching him out there. He brings a certain level of enthusiasm to us. Came from a great program where they won a lot of games, and so it's good to have him back out there, and I would expect for him to compete for a starting job. We rotate those safeties in. I'm sure Johnny and Markel would like for him to get in there and cut their reps down. You know, they had so many plays last year in the games that Daquan ought to be able to help those guys out.
Are you able to get done everything you want to get done in the spring setting with the numbers you have at running back at the moment?
I would say yes. Spring is always, you're somewhat limited with your running backs. There's just not enough of them to go around. But we feel good about the guys that we have. We'll get them quality reps, and we'll start working some other guys in there. And then when the incoming freshmen show up in the summer, those guys will rotate in on their own and give us some more depth.
Mike, how about your early enrollees? What have you seen anything that you're somewhat impressed with, those young guys?
I'm impressed with their work ethic and what they brought to the table from a competitive standpoint. Obviously on the field, they're going to be a ways behind. But they had a really good off-season. It's not easy to come in from high school and participate in the off-season drills that we put our team through and to be somewhat competitive, and those guys were. So that part was exciting. But I don't think we'll see anything on the field anytime soon that'll really make a difference because they're going to be feeling the way through it.
Mike, how did you top the top third? Did you just kind of see him working?
We want to be an off-season. High-successful young man who loves to be around the team, loves football, and had a very traumatic injury. He's working his way back and came back months ago and asked could he be around the team and work out. And he was feeling okay, so he asked if he could be at spring ball.
I saw number 9 run through there, and I was like, who is that? And he looks pretty good. I mean, his weight looks good.
I would like for nothing more than him to hold up and be able to compete because it's important to him he wants to.
So all indications are that you may be ranked maybe 6 to 12 in that window in the preseason. Even as early as now, do you start conditioning these guys to kind of prepare for that and handle it well when it comes around?
I hope that the success that we've had over the last few years, some of the guys that have to leave now, it's been instilled in them the importance of hard work, and you can't just rely on who you are or what you've accomplished as an individual or a team. And I had mentioned this a couple of years ago when we were in a similar situation prior to the season when we opened the Georgia group. It's out there. The ratings will be out there. The magazines will be out there. All the information online. So I don't think that you put it to the side. I think you can talk about it. We will with our players. And make sure they understand that they've worked hard to earn that, but they'll have to even work harder to keep it. There's no question they're aware of it. From a coach's standpoint, it can go either way. You'd kind of like to sneak up on people, just kind of stay fly under the radar, and they end up being a pretty good team. That's not going to happen here for next year, so I think we accept that. Use it to our advantage. There are some advantages in recruiting from that standpoint, in marketing value, and should revenue and sell season tickets, all those things are a plus. So I think the players need to understand they have a responsibility to keep it going, and it's going to be based on the hard work and effort they put in over the next 6 months.